We have a history of division. Tahupotski Wirabugata was a faith healer, was a miracle worker. But he was also very cooperative with Mihinari, with Katolika, with Methodist communities. You know, if you go to some places in the north or around the country, you'll see communities divided in half. Literally. I know one place you go to Urupara and there's Atan over here, Mihinari over here. All the same whānau but divided on the basis of their church. Do you know who did that? We did that. Because the Pākehā bishops excommunicated Rātana's followers. They said, if you're going to follow this man, you're out. And suddenly, these little Māori communities got divided in half by our church. It's a history of racism. Roto Waitoa, who we celebrate there on that point, the first Māori to be ordained. Well, it took a long time for him to be ordained. He had to jump through all sorts of hoops. Him and every other Māori. It took far longer than it should have. And in 1928, when they went to pick a first Māori bishop, there was a lot of insistence that yes, you Māoris, you can have a bishop, but it has to be a Pākehā. It can't be a Māori because no Māoris are able to do this job. And the Williams family, who are the descendants of Henry and William Williams, they said, if you pick a Māori for this position, we're going to withdraw all our funding from the church. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Racism has been strong through the history of our church. Ignorance has been strong through the history of our church. In the 1980s, as Māori were having their revival, our renaissance, pushing for rangatiratanga in all spheres of life, and especially in the church. You know, we'd waited 150 odd years before we even got a seat at the table. Bishop Eddie Norman, who was the Bishop of Wellington, in 1983, he said, this is talking about Māori struggle for rangatiratanga, far from being disadvantaged, there is a tendency to give preferential treatment to Māori, and this does not encourage them to take their place in community as equals. So apparently we weren't disadvantaged, we were over-advantaged, which I think was quite hard to see, but obviously he could see it somewhere. This, of course, Don Brash did exactly the same thing in Wurua. Oh yes, those Māoris have it all on a plate. Of course we do. Just go to the hospitals, you see how we got it all on a plate. And this is still happening. In the past month, the Diocese of Auckland has withdrawn its funding for its Māori partner, here at Taikitanga. You know what they said? Oh, we need to wait and see what the new bishop's going to decide. Yeah, because I'm sure, what else are you going to spend the money on? He's got something better, a scheme trip or something. They've said, oh no, sorry partners, you'll have to wait your turn. They might have some other priority with their funding too. This is in the past month. This history still carries on today. This history of assimilation, greed, division, racism, ignorance carries on today. And you know what? It's enough to make you want to cry. Or at least make you want to swear in an email. You can understand when you're Harawira. You can understand the way he thinks from some of the actions he's basing his history on. And it's enough to make you think that that mustard seed is still just there, just a mustard seed. Where is this tree? Where is this magnificent tree? Where is this kingdom of God when we've still got such things happening today? Engari Pati. I'm standing here today as a Māori priest, talking to you in this Māori church. Most of our karakia has been in Te Reo. We have a Māori bishop today ordaining a Māori deacon. We have in the church now a full measure of rangatiratanga. Perhaps not the resources to back that up, but we have the theory of growth. For almost 200 years now, in villages, in schools, in homes, in wharekarakia, wherever our people are, we've had rangatahi, hamiriki, kuia, kraua, we've had all our people being faithful and building the kingdom of God. Nothing has stopped that happening over the past 200 years. In fact, we've done it despite what's been happening. And through all this history, Pākehā have been working alongside us in this endeavour. They've been empowering us, supporting us, Yes, Bishop Selwyn was chaplain to the church, but he was also opposed to the Waitara Purchase. He was also objecting to many of the excesses that the colonial government was putting in place. And that's where he's continued. I'm a product of that cooperation, quite literally, as it turns out. You know, for all the struggles, and we need to be honest, even brutally honest, like Harawira was, about our history, because that's what we are, that's who we are, that's how we're made. But we need to embrace that. But let's not forget, for all that, that seed has blossomed, has turned into that mustard tree, and the kingdom of God exists amongst us despite everything. Perhaps because of everything.